dropped the kids off at bus stop carpool, and now I'm headed home to ranch solo for 4 days. Mr. FFB is gone, and so it'll be just me here ranching all by my lonesome. Hold up. Lefty, lefty, lefty. Stay here. Hey, Binks. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, you turned the heat all the way up. Oh, you silly dog. My original plan for this morning was to move these heifers into a fresh pasture and feed them cake and hay in the new pasture. But when I drove by this morning to drop the kids off at bus stop carpool, I noticed that they have quite a bit of hay left here, and I would really like for them to clean up that hay before I feed them more, before I move them out of here and feed them more. So that way we're not wasting, and yeah. There's some naughty ones on the wrong side of the fence here, so hopefully we can get them, encourage them. I brought Binks along, so I mean that's why I brought Binks along. So he could go get them for me. Yeah. You gonna help me? Or are you just gonna lick my face? He can't hold his liquor. He just can't. There's those naughty heifers on the wrong side of the fence. Go bring them. Way out. Way out. Down. 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 Thank you. Here. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. You did good. Oh, that was easy. I didn't listen the first time I said down, but we got the heifers back in at least. Got it. Got it. I don't think I'm gonna get it that way. It looks fairly tight. They got their bangs or Brucellosis vaccinations last Friday, and that green ink is from their tattoos. I was planning on filming Bangs Day, but Binks, get behind, buddy. But it was too cold, and I didn't think my camera battery would last very long. And when I say too cold, I mean like it felt like a heat wave after the polar vortex, but it was still only like 10 degrees out. What up? A little more about brucellosis if you're not familiar with what the disease is. It is a bacteria that causes spontaneous abortion, and it affects multiple species. So the USDA APHIS has I'm trying to drive defensively because when you have the kick truck, the heifers like crowd you. So I'm trying to drive defensively, slowly, and not hit any heifers. while I talk about brucellosis. Anyway, it causes spontaneous abortion. It affects multiple species, and the USDA APHIS has a brucellosis eradication program. And so, following their guidelines, the vet comes out and gives the brucellosis vaccine, and then they also, each heifer that receives the vaccine also gets a tattoo that denotes that she's had the vaccine and what year she got the vaccine in. And they also have identification tags that they put in the heifers if the heifers don't already have a verified RFID tag, which our heifers, these heifers, they had an RFID tag, so they didn't have to get another tag on Friday. Just the shot and the tattoo. I brought the heifers over here to cake them because this is where the hay is, and there is quite a bit of hay left. Also, the water's right there. But in the last video where I was feeding hay, there was some concern about the net wrap. It mostly stays in the hay feeder. I'm not going to say that 100% of it stays in the hay feeder. There is a little that occasionally comes out in these windrows, but very little. So that is why we don't worry about taking it off first. I had zero intention of spending any kind of time out here in the pasture with these heifers today other than to check water, because when I went by for a bus stop carpool, I could see that they had open water and that they also had a little hay left, but they weren't interested at all in the hay. They were all out grazing like happy little heifers, all spread out. But then later on this morning, when I had to run into town to drop a few things off, I looked out and saw that we might have trouble in paradise, aka heifers in the stack yard. You naughty girls. So Twig and I, wherever she is, came out to assess the situation and get these heifers out of the stack yard. And by assess the situation, I mean like we're gonna go around this fence and see where they got in. There's Twig. But if I had to guess, I would guess this gate is the problem. It seems pretty saggy, so we might just see if we can tighten it up and see if that solves things for us. Bring them. Good girl. Down. Twig. Down. Down. We're still working on down. That looks significantly better than what it did. Camera shut off, I don't know when, but when I was putting that back together, so I don't get to show you that. But we're gonna run around the rest of this stack yard and make sure the fence is good, and then hopefully we'll be done today. Well, I think I found the problem area. Yeah, that looks much better. The fence anyway. There's not a lot I can do about the bales. But hopefully the heifers won't get in. I've built a pretty impenetrable fence here. And I'm totally kidding. They'll probably be back in tomorrow. Okay, ladies, I'm leaving. Make good choices. Stay out of the stack yards. Just make good choices. Okay? Looking at you, Red.